Welcome back, grade 1 students. Welcome in your science lesson. Okay, now tell me, class, what was the topic that we are doing these days that we have already started? The topic is the moon. Very good. We are doing the topic the moon. Still, we are on this topic. Actually, this topic is in continuation with the topic the sun, the stars, and the moon. We have done the sun, we have done the stars. Now we are on the topic that is the moon. Now, tell me, class, can anyone live on the moon? Is it possible to live on the moon? Yes. Why? Everything is there on the moon. You see, it is not possible to live on the moon. Why? Because there is no air. There is no air on the moon. So you cannot live there. But there are people who have gone to the moon. And who are those? We call them astronauts. What do you call? Astronauts. They are the people who can, uh, yes, there are other people who have traveled and they are called astronauts. 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 You got it? Who are they? They are the Astronauts. They are called the astronauts. Right? So, who are astronauts? The people who can go on the space, who travel in the space, who can go in the space easily, and who can go and check out the planets, who basically travels and who can go on the space. They are the astronauts. So, astronauts, they have landed on the moon, but they cannot live there. Right? Now, I'm going to show you a picture and you are going to tell me what this picture is about. Okay, ready? Now, can you all see my screen? Great. Now, who is this person and where is he standing? He is an astronaut. Very good. And where is he standing? He's standing on the moon. He's there on the moon. So can you see what he is wearing? Why is he wearing all this different type of clothes? He's wearing a different suit. Why? Because you see, there is no air on the moon. So he has to wear special type of dress, special type of suit in which he will get air and he will have other things. See, he has covered his face also. Everything is covered and this special suit is there which gives it so that he can have oxygen and he can easily breathe because there is no air on the moon. So you understand that is why the astronauts they have to wear this special type of suit if they want to travel to the space and especially to the moon because there is no air and he cannot these astronauts they cannot live there. They can travel, they can go there, but they cannot stay there. Do you understand? So that means that no one can live on the moon. Why? Because there is no air. There is no air also, and there is one more thing which I'm going to explain you. There is little gravity. G-R-A, gravity. Now, what is the meaning of gravity? Can anybody tell me? Does anybody know the meaning of gravity? You see, gravity is the force that pulls the things down. When I'm going to drop this like this, it was because of the force, because of gravity. that board marker of mine fell down. Now, and so in space there is only very little gravity. So that is why there is no air. So that is why there is no gravity. Things cannot move. Things cannot go down because there is nothing. There is no force to pull it down. Right? So that is why astronauts, what happens when they travel, when they go in the on the moon, they cannot walk, they cannot run, only they will float. You know what is float? Like the fish, it floats in the water. So only it is going to float. Remember the video that I have shown you on the first day of where we have seen the sun, the stars, and the moon, how the astronauts they were floating. So it happens like that. So they float. They float on the moon. Do you understand? Got it? So what happens on the moon? There is no air and there is very little gravity. So there nothing can be pulled down. That is why whoever goes on the moon, they will float. They will not walk, they cannot breathe because there is no air. So they will float. Right? Now, I'm going to share a presentation and that way also it's going to be more clear to you. Now again, who is this person? It's the same picture. And where is he standing? This person is an astronaut. And where is he standing? He's standing on the moon. Correct. Now see, is he flying or floating? He is floating. Why? Remember what I told you? Why is he floating? Because there is no air. See how he's floating on the moon. Because there is no air over there. He cannot walk, he cannot run, he cannot breathe. There is no air on the moon. So that is why he is floating. Right? And there is very little gravity. You understood? Okay. Now what is this picture about? Have you ever seen this? You see, have you ever heard the names of spaceships? Yes, so this is a spaceship. It is traveling in the space. It's going in the space. This is how it looks like. It is very different from airplane. It is very different from helicopters, from trains, from ships. It's a spaceship. It is equipped with all those things which are needed for it to travel in the space, right? But there are different types of spaceships. There are different kinds of spaceships. This is one kind and this is another kind. This is again a spaceship and see how it is traveling. It looks different. It looks a little like an airplane, right? It looks like an airplane, but it's a spaceship. Now, what do you call this? It's a space shuttle. It's a space shuttle. It goes in the space and tells us the temperature, the different things, and about how the temperature of space, the temperature of different area of different, you can say, planets. So it's a space shuttle, right? So basically, you need not to go in detail. You just need to remember is that there is no air on the moon and there is only little gravity on the moon, right? And the people who travel in the space, they are called astronauts. Do you understand? Right? So what was the main thing that we had to learn today? That was about that there is no air on the space. There is no air on the moon. No air on the moon and very little gravity. This is just a little thing that you people need to remember that the people who go in the space, who travel in the space are called astronauts. There is then the other point that you need to remember is that there is no air on the moon. The third point that you need to remember is there is very little gravity on the moon. Got it? So now you kindly take out your notebooks and I'm going to write on my whiteboard, and the same things, these 3 points, you are going to write down in your notebooks. Ready? Okay, there you go. Okay, the first thing you are going to write down is the moon is your heading. Then point number 1 is the person who goes to the space are is called an astronaut. Okay, then number 2, there is no air on the moon, right? Number 3 is there is very little gravity on the moon. These are the 3 main points that you are going to write down and you are going to learn it. It's going to help you out throughout your lives, right? The first one is the person who goes to the space. The person who goes to the space is called an astronaut. There is no air on the moon and there is very little gravity on the moon. I hope you must have written this now, right? Okay. So that means that the task that you know what we were supposed to learn today, you are very, very clear. Do remember to revise this because I am not giving you any other homework. You just need to remember these 3 points. I might ask you tomorrow or next day, or you will have your test like every time, every end of the week, you have your class test. So please revise these 3 points. They are very, very important and keep watching the Edward videos too. Okay? Okay. I hope you must have enjoyed the lesson. See you next time. Bye.